0 people are watching this, then I'm going to upload this. So this is part of my series about just miracles, signs, and wonders, things that the Lord has done. I have my Bible here, and there's a whole lot going through my mind. And how many guys out there know about the book of Daniel, where it says, when the book is being sealed, people are going to run to and people are going to run from. I'm guessing the church. People run to the Lord, people run from the Lord when the book is being sealed, when they're sealing the book on Daniel. It says people are going to become enlightened, people are going to become, hearts are going to become purified, and people are going to become wise. Now, I didn't know that scripture at all. And it just is, it's such an amazing scripture. I'm always telling people about it because it's a prophecy of the end times. Now, everybody who's been watching my live, and I don't know how to get y'all to chime in while I am live to get comments and so we could converse back and forth. But hey, what's up, TikTok? But for a man like me, like me, like Apostle Paul, we're so far removed from the Lord, like so far away, couldn't get any further away. Hated Christians. You're a Christian, you were just a coward. It was just, I had nothing good to say to you. And thank God I didn't have the power that people like Nero had, because I would have used it. I would have definitely used it. So I remember I was reading the book of Daniel, and I had already turned to the Lord. And I said, oh, wow, he's talking about me. So it was a prophecy that put me to my knees, put me right to my knees, purified my heart. I was a white supremacist. Everybody knows that. I'm not saying that to brag or to boast or to keep going over it. But if you never saw my live reels, you have no idea. Man, I was white powered all the way out for 20 years. It was bad. So it's funny, this book here, man, so much truth. So I just pulled into a friend's house and we're just waiting here. And I said, you know, why not, while we just wait here, go live and upload a video and just open some eyes, man. This is Miracle Signs and Wonders. I'm a miracle. So just the fact that I'm sitting here with you alive right now, I'm a miracle. And I told you guys I was going to tell you guys a little bit about the details, wherefore you're going to be like, did that really happen? Yeah, miracle. So here's a great scripture. I mean, this is one of my favorites. I actually put it in a song of mine. It says, I will bring the blind by a way they did not know. I will lead them on paths which they have not known. I will make darkness light before them. I will make crooked places straight. These things I will do for them and not forsake them. So that's interesting. So that's in this book. So when I say that this book is so full of truth, so that's like a prophecy. It's in the book of Isaiah. And it's Isaiah 41:16. No, sorry, it's not. It is what, 42? It's 42:16. I will make crooked places straight. Is not what the Lord does. That's not what he does. And then, you know, what's our job on earth? If nothing, it's to glorify him. And what does he do? Do we really know God's character? Why is the God's always going right to the bottom, right to the most gangster of people? And that's the ones that he lays his hand on. That's the one that brings the most glory to the Lord. It's just endless. And, you know, for me, you know, this whole live thing is supposed to be about, this portion of it is supposed to be about the miracles that he has done. So I'm going to say something to you guys. I'm going to tell you guys, I want to give you all testimonies of things that have happened to me that I didn't become Christian because of a book. Nobody came up to me with a miraculous sermon and I just said, oh, hey, great. Like, I'm going to become Christian. Sounds like a good idea. I was a pagan Odinist, one step under Odinist priest for years. It was going to take something more than that. So y'all have heard about the car accident where the Lord literally, I believe he completely crashed a vehicle at 108 miles an hour while I was not Christian. And my leg went out the driver's side window at 108 miles an hour and kept rolling. Car on top of my leg, total degloving, 5 brakes. It was horrible. I was in the hospital for 2 months. I was put on Dilaudid and morphine, Mr. White Power, white supremacist. And then I come out and I'm in the streets. I'm homeless, right? And then I told you all how in Luke 14:11, it says, he who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself is exalted. And then the story of the lost sheep. So the shepherd goes after that lost sheep, leaves the 99, goes after the one, and he throws it over his back and puts it back on the pastor. A minister lady once told me that my story was right out of the Bible. This is where it gets really good. She said the one thing that's not in the Bible, Gino, is that the shepherd breaks the leg, one of the legs of the sheep to put it back on pastor. And I had just got done telling her about how many times I died and was brought back to life in the streets of Paterson, New Jersey, while on a needle. And so it all made sense. So she said to me, and she's out there, my God, I don't even remember her name, but she said it's as if God knew that we were going to speak one day, because she understood that not one thing on my body was harmed except my leg. At 108 miles an hour, that car went into a roll. And when I tell you, I promise you, not even a scratch on my body, nothing. And I said, Jesus, take me to heaven now. And having not been a Christian, the car stopped immediately. Bam! I became Christian right then and there. When I woke up in the hospital, and the nurse said, do you believe in Jesus? What are the odds of that? Like, what are the odds? Like, why would she say that? You know, and because she know that that car accident brought me straight to Jesus, you know, and so, and that car accident brought me right to the streets, lowered me, right? So the minister lady said, it's almost as if, she said, Gino, you didn't even have a cut on your body, you said. She said, it's almost as if he knew we were going to be talking. He wanted you to know that he took your leg. He knew I was going to tell you. And I don't know about you all out there, how profound that is. But to me, that is huge. And that was just the beginning. You know, so then I'm in the streets, and a lot transpires. I died a lot. I ended up using a needle. I ended up living around people that I couldn't stand as a white supremacist, right? So here's just one little testimony. So I'm out there for about 2 months, and I got wound care on my leg. I'm on crutches, and I got nowhere to go. I'm homeless, and I got a serious heroin addiction. It's ridiculous. And I hobbled down to a riverbank by a river underneath the bridge, and I hobbled down there, and I had just bought a bundle of heroin, and that's 10 bags for y'all who don't know. So I bought a bundle of heroin, and I put a bag in what's called the cooker, and it was black. It turned dark black, almost black, which means it's heroin. All they had in the streets back then was fentanyl, right? So it was real heroin. I was like, oh wow. So I knew I could do more of it than I could have fentanyl. So I went ahead and opened 3 more bags, and I put it in the cooker, and I injected it, and I sat back, and I looked at the water rolling by me, and the sun was hitting it, and the sun was dancing on the water. That's how I like to explain it. And I sat back, and I was, as Pink Floyd would say, comfortably numb. And I sat down there, high, and above me is the streets, the hustle and bustle of Paterson, New Jersey. Just anybody who knows Paterson, New Jersey, I mean, it's on the map. Like, all it is drugs and gangs and violence. I was in the streets out there. Yeah, Mr. White Supremacist, I'm so much better than you, right? Yeah. He who exalts himself will be humbled. So I'm sitting there, and I do those 3 bags, and I'm looking at the water. And when I was in prison for 20 years prior to this happening, and I brought a lot of people away from the Lord. As an Odinist, I used to have to give an induction rite, it was a prayer to bring you in, and it was called a self-profession rite. And as part of it, I would say, you know, do you remove the yoke of Christ from around your neck? So for a long time, I brought people away from Jesus, right? So now I go home, this car accident happens, I miraculously say, Jesus, take me to heaven now, which makes no sense to begin with. And here I am in the streets, like, and so I'm out there, and I'm like, wow. And this is my wife. Say hi, baby. Hi. This is my wife, Julia. This is the evidence of the Lord. At 49 years old tomorrow, this is my wife, and we'll get to that later on in the series. But I'm sitting there, and I take that shot, and I'm like, Lord, I'm like, all right. I'm like, I get it. You got a great sense of humor. So so I turn to you, and you put me in the streets on a needle, homeless. and everything I hate. I said, I got you. I'm going to come and talk to you. We're about to have a talk. I fully committed to suicide right then and there. I was not going to go up that slope to the streets. I decided to just take my life, and I ain't never been suicidal. And like, I really truly was about to. So what I did is I opened up the other 7 bags that I had, and figuring that'd be a nice lethal shot, and I put it all in the syringe. And like, it was over. I would buy later. So, and all I remember is waking up and it being in the mud, like that's it, in the dirt. Like, I remember waking up, and like, I know, like, that was one of the first things out there, because I hadn't been out there long. I knew right away, like, all right, this is the Lord. He stopped me from killing myself, and not being one to have the propensity for suicide, I really wasn't eager to do it again. Like, yeah, I tried to fail. So that happened, and then I'm in the street. So here's a couple really cool stories, and this is why I'm making this video for you guys. I'm gonna tell you about some deaths. I hear about people who die in the streets and they get brought back, and more than likely it's because they got a friend who's got Narcan next to them or something. Well, my stories are a little different. I put my hand to the Lord that every word I speak is true. So one day I'm in a park, and I'm exercising. I'm running back and forth. There's these 2 women in the park, and they don't realize I'm homeless, and they're watching me. They get their kids, and they're in the jungle gym. And I see the kids in the jungle gym, and I shoot dope in that park every day, every night. And so does all my junkie friends. So I go up to them. I always had some moral fabric about me. And I said to them, hey guys, my buddy's here, so I'm gonna short. I said, hey guys, before you let your kids play in there, you should scour it, make sure there's no needles. And the ladies were like, oh yeah, we know. And thank you so much. I went back to my workout. I worked out. At the end of my work, they were still there. I went up to them, we spoke. They had no suspicion that I was a drug addict. When I told them that I was a junkie living out there in the streets, they were like, oh no. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, please, like, get better, go to the streets. I know, he's here. So I gotta wrap this up. But anyway, long story short, I walked away from them ladies. I went to a porta potty. I pulled out 2 bags of heroin, and I injected it. And the only thing I remember is waking up on the side of the road to an officer standing above me. And it was the same officer. Them 2 women happened to see me fall out of the porta potty. They happened to be watching the exact same time, which makes no sense. And them same 2, and the cop that was on the scene that I looked up to, she said, the next time I'm gonna tell him to leave you here, because the day before, my friends pulled me from a vehicle. I had overdosed and died, left me in the streets, took my clothes off, my sneakers and everything, left me there. Patterson's the town. You'll hear my rap song say, revived in the streets where they don't call EMTs. He hit me with affliction before setting me free. Planted a seed, broke through addiction, that is fruit on his tree. I say that because the cop was there the day before when she responded to a person in the street. Now, let me tell you something about Patterson. When a person overdoses, nobody calls the law. It just doesn't happen. They run your pockets, they leave you there. The cops don't even respond to overdoses. You better say a little kid got hit by a car. So this is just go to show you. I died at a bathroom stall in a porta potty, and the 2 women that I happened to run across, I mean, maybe a city block away, seen me fall out on a pitch of a hill. So when I fell out, it actually was not visible. So they actually seen me fall and called 911. So that's 2 times that I died and should not have even been brought back. And so this goes on. There's a whole lot of this that happened in the streets, and I hope to let somebody just know out there how real God is. If you doubt the Lord, I did, man. I didn't not only doubt him, but I hated him. Like, he's so real. He's so supernatural, so active. His hand is so present in your life. It's all very real. I'm doing this particular series to remove any doubt. If like I said, if you can give me just a small benefit of the doubt that I do not have this is not monetized. I'm so far from ever even thought of making money here. There's no stake in the game for me. I just want people to understand how real he is, and no matter how hard things might seem, definitely don't turn away from the Lord. And more than that, in the near future, love you guys.